What's up, guys? Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Well then, another myth busted. Now, before I start lactating, I feel like it's only right that I do what I've been doing for every video leading up to this one, and that is review someone or something doing someone or something in a series I now like to call Fuck This Shit. Now, don't get me wrong, the less work I do, the more happy I am, but I would sacrifice some happiness if I could start making my trying to touch a cop's gun without him noticing videos. I even made thumbnails and everything. But I guess until then, I will have to review helicopter crash in New York City. Okay, so before you get sand up all in your dick, I'm not making fun of the helicopter crash. I'm not an asshole. But I am making fun of the people who want none other than to be on TV, so their response to the questions they're asked are no better than me farting underwater.
It felt like if it was an earthquake, like when the ground moves, like the building felt like moving.
You know, like how when an earthquake happens, the ground moves? That's what it felt like, bro. I wasn't staying still, you feel me? I was like moving like an earthquake.
We just felt the building like sway, like bounce. I thought maybe it was like a mini earthquake or something, but then again, we were in New York and I was like, shit, maybe 9/11 again.
Damn, dude, your building shakes and you immediately think it's another 9/11? You don't plan a sequel to something that happened in September and February. And your building is not Michael Jackson. It didn't sway or fucking bounce. If your building bounced, you'd be dead.
People saying that the windows were... Yeah, the windows were moving and they felt like something hit the building. Everybody get down and we evacuate the building.
Afraid, nervous, scary, so it's a medley of all these emotions.
They're like, do you two only know 20 words of English? Only 15, you say? Can we interview you guys real quick? That's it? What the fuck? I am now convinced there wasn't even a plane crash and they just paid people to talk about it. Like, what? Why would... They didn't show anything. How is this number 3 on trending? I'd rather see a cow give birth onto a horse giving birth. Now that's number 3 on trending material. However, since that video was so short, I will show you one more, and that one more is... The FBI busted me when I was 14. Exciting, right? Well, don't get a boner just yet, because the video was uploaded by BuzzFeed, and the word busted they have in the title is not used anywhere in the video. I think this video, like the first one, may be fake. If not, they intentionally knew this guy's story was not true, and they just decided to upload it.
The FBI visited me because of something I did on the internet. And this is that story.
Okay, hold up. Were you visited or busted by the FBI? Because if I had $1 for every time the FBI visited me because of my internet activity, I'd own Amazon. Because being busted is way different.
So when I was 14, my school gave me these new planners, which was super tight because, you know, I was in Compton. You don't get much new anything. Couldn't wait to just plan anything.
Even if you don't get new things often, no one gets that excited for a planner. Only girls and that one gay kid used the planner. Everyone else used it to write down their friends' birthdays and that one homework assignment they had that day. After that, they never used that shit again.
I looked in there and they had a homework help site and I was like, all right, let me go to this site. I'm so hyped. All the homework help site was supposed to be other students helping each other, but who's doing that?
So let me get this straight. The website that you went on that led the FBI to come to your house was in the planner that the school gave you. And you're implying that you knew homework wasn't being discussed on that website?
Who's doing that?
I'm just making sure so I know what to say in court when the FBI sees this and realize they let you get away.
The first threat that kind of catches my eye is the find your internet girlfriend or boyfriend thread. So I went in there because you only needed 3 things to find your internet girlfriend or boyfriend. ASL, baby!
Again, this site was in the planner the school gave him. Are you sure the school gave you this planner and not some dude outside the school only handing them out to certain boys and girls that he finds sexy? Also, ASL means age, sex, and location, which is basically a pedophile's way of asking if you're under 18.
found a match. We're hitting it off strong and we're very mature for our age. We skipped all the like internet first date stuff. We went straight to internet sex. We're going at it and it becomes a daily routine for me.
What the fuck is internet sex? Does he mean sexting? I've never heard of internet sex, and frankly, it sounds dangerous, and I'm not a freak like that.
We're going at it and it becomes a daily routine for me. You go to school, come home, cyber sex is every night. It's a great routine. And it was cool because I was like the John Steinbeck of cyber sex. I was just real nice with the pen.
Yeah, it was awesome. Instead of talking to real girls and having real sex, I was talking to an FBI agent having cyber sex. Like, dude, stop bragging that you could talk to girls online. A well-trained dog can do that.
My dad, he worked at the apartment complex, so he had his own office in the complex that I can sneak off to that had a deadbolt lock. And my dad thought I was being studious. He was like, dang, all of a sudden my son, he wants to go in here and get his homework done. Man, I should have got him a planner years ago.
So a couple things that he says here that don't add up in the end are, one, that he lives in an apartment complex, and two, he didn't even use the computer in his own home. He used the ones in his dad's office. Two things that don't make any sense if this story was true.
Finally, I did the math in my head and was like, whoa, actually, that show on HBO, Real Sex, taught me I could jack off to this. So then I get back there, I log on, ready to go. She does not log on.
I guess being a John Steinbeck with the pen doesn't get 14-year-olds wet like you thought. I really want to know what math he did in his head to figure out that he could jack off to this. That must have been like a revelation to him.
Now I'm confused, I'm hurt for a bit, but then I go on with my life because life moves fast when you're 14. One day I'm chilling at home and there's a knock at the door. There's a white man in a suit with a briefcase.
Remember, he didn't even use the computer in his own house, so if you see where this is going, it's complete bullshit.
I live in Compton, California, and if a white man in a suit and briefcase shows up at your door in Compton, California, nothing good could come from it. Close that door. I didn't have the wisdom that I have now, so I say hello.
Shit, I can only imagine what you would have said if you had wisdom. Listen here, you lame excuse for a Compton resident. You wouldn't need any wisdom to say anything, because if you had any, you wouldn't have opened the door in the first place. But then again, you thought you were John Hancock or whoever the fuck.
And he goes, excuse me, are you f.b.i? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, thank God. And I was like, okay, this has gotten weird immediately.
I think things got weird when you went onto a boyfriend-girlfriend chat room on a homework site in a planner that the school gave you. The FBI showing up to your house is probably the most normal thing that happened to you that day.
But I go and get my parents, and since there's a man in a suit here, we get to sit in the velvet room. Y'all know the velvet room, that special room your parent has for some reason no kids can hang out in. My parents are like, what is going on? And I'm just like, ooh, okay.
What the fuck is a velvet room? I'm pretty sure that's a black thing, because I've never heard of a velvet room that kids aren't allowed in. I hate to break it to you, Iffy, but that was your parents' fuck room.
Until he opens his mouth and he says, hey, I'm here with the f.b.i. I was like, what? Well, he's like, yeah, so apparently your son has been using language online that's pretty advanced for his age. Like I said, I was the John Steinbeck of cybersex.
Okay, so another thing about his story that doesn't add up is that he says he and the girl that he was talking to were 14. Why would the FBI show up to your house if you're 14 years old? That doesn't happen. The cops don't arrest a little boy the pervert was talking to. And even if they were there just to make sure you were 14, they had no reason to believe you weren't, other than your linguistic skills that were so good it can apparently fool the FBI.
He had to come and make sure that I wasn't an adult talking to a kid online and having cyber sex. This is bad.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy? The FBI doesn't make sure kids aren't talking to adults, it's the other way around. And stop saying cybersex, it doesn't make your situation any more cooler. You were 14 years old jacking off to words an FBI agent typed. You're pretty much gay at this point.
Remember that briefcase I was talking about? Well, he opens it up and pulls out a nice thick stack of paper and starts handing it to my parents, and I immediately started panicking.
I would too, because not only were you jacking off to it, but you were also writing Stephen King novels with this guy. This dude said he pulled out a stack of papers.
I was a romantic, so when I would get into the cybersex mode, I wouldn't just jump in there. I would set the theme on Yahoo Instant Messenger to rain hearts down, and they printed that out too.
Alright, we get it. You were rejected by all the girls at your school, so you put all your time and effort into this. You don't have to explain this to us, we get it.
All four of us are sitting in this room in silence as they flip through the pages. I'm like, He finally closed the pieces of paper.
I don't even know what the fuck he's describing. He's just sitting there and you guys are turning through papers? What, is he reading them? Or did a random guy just walk into your house and pretend to be an FBI agent and just start showing your parents papers? Anything could happen at this point.
He finally closed the pieces of paper, looked up at the agent, and was like, all right, sir, it's fine. We'll handle this. And they walk him out and they close the door.
What are they going to handle? They're the FBI and you were talking to them. Case closed. You honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, you probably let a man who posed as the FBI to come into your house when in reality, this was the dude who was going to rape you and you're just lucky your parents were home.
Time stopped. Is this going to be a closed casket or open casket funeral? And they turn around and they just start laughing. And, you know, that was honestly worse than any other punishment because what I did on those pages, what I did with that pen was art.
You feel me? My sexy talk was an art. Any 40-year-old man would fall in love with me like that. And if you guys weren't here, I'd be getting fucked right now. But you guys laughing at me? Way worse.
For the next few years, my nickname was chocolate syrup because that was one of my lines in there. See, I said I'd drizzle you in chocolate syrup, which as a 14-year-old seems like a good idea. But now I'm an adult and understand that requires too much setup and cleanup.
Unless you're squirting chocolate syrup around everywhere like Michael J. Fox, it's not that messy, and your parents did you dirty for giving you that nickname. But if you were my kid, I'd do the same thing and give you a bottle of chocolate syrup to carry around everywhere so people would ask why. But yeah, guys, that's it. And BuzzFeed, if you copyright this video, you will catch these hands and these feet, because I am known to perfectly reenact the curb stomp scene from American History X. Until next time, peace.
We skipped all the internet first date stuff. We went straight to internet sex. We're going at it and it becomes a daily routine for me.